All right, let's dive straight into an incredible hidden digital machine that you interact with every single day, yet probably never even think about. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack the invisible architecture running right beneath our screens. You know, the modern internet feels completely seamless to us, but just beneath that surface, there is a massive, high-stakes system at work.
Think about your daily routine for a second. You type a simple question into your phone. Maybe you're looking up a dinner recipe, double-checking a historical fact, or just comparing a product, and in literal milliseconds, a perfectly polished, complete answer appears right on your screen. It feels completely effortless. I mean, it's almost like magic.
But to really understand the sweeping economic consequences of this modern convenience, we have to pause the magic trick and ask a much darker question. What actually happens to the website? And, more importantly, the actual human who did the research to provide that answer. Where are they in this new transaction?
Section 1. The Old Machine. Mapping the digital world. To understand the shift we're living through, we first need to look at how the old internet was actually organized. For decades, search engines functioned strictly as a map. They just gave you a list of doors to open. You know, the classic 10 blue links. But today, that map has morphed into the actual destination. You no longer have to travel anywhere. The answer is just handed directly to you in one centralized box.
So, the crucial point here is how this old machine operated. Glowing digital spiders, automated crawlers, raced across cables, exploring billions of pages to build this colossal searchable library. When you searched, an algorithm ranked these pages by quality and relevance. But here is the absolute key to the whole thing. The user still controlled the final click. The search engine sent human traffic outward to the wider web.
Section 2. The AI Engine. Synthesizing the answer.
Enter artificial intelligence. It completely changed the fundamental architecture of an answer, because it no longer just hands you a map. Step 1, it hunts across the web for fragments. Step 2, it extracts those paragraphs and breaks them down into glowing pieces of meaning. Step 3, it compresses conflicting claims on a digital balance. And finally, Step 4, it predicts the clearest response, generating it one word at a time right in front of you.
And the result is honestly kind of startling. What looks like a single, calm, authoritative voice on your screen is actually the compressed fusion of dozens of invisible sources. 5 websites, or maybe 50, are merged into one clean paragraph. But the moment you stop opening sources, those websites vanish behind a black glass wall.
Section 3. The Hidden Cost. The Price of Free.
Now this brings us to the terrifying economics of a supposedly free internet. Most of the web feels completely free to us, but almost nothing behind it actually is. The entire system was built on a really delicate exchange. Creators provided free information, articles, videos, deep research in exchange for your attention. That user attention was then converted into the advertising revenue needed to keep the servers running and the journalists paid.
Because online, attention isn't just some measure of influence or clout, it is money. It's the vital currency that funds the independent expert writing late at night, the video creator buying a new camera, and the local newsrooms investigating deep stories. Attention literally pays for the digital world.
But here's the catch. When an AI system pulls the information, synthesizes it, and gives you the answer instantly, that delicate exchange is broken. You get the knowledge, sure, but you never click the source. The money doesn't move. The creator gets absolutely nothing. Their website's visitor counter freezes at an absolute 0.
Section 4. The Illusion. The Danger of Certainty.
This whole disruption introduces a fatal flaw. Because AI delivers its answer in a clean, perfectly organized interface, it feels incredibly certain. But remember, AI doesn't experience truth. It just identifies patterns and predicts text, and this can lead to what we call a hallucination. It's not a deliberate lie with malicious intent, it's simply an answer generated without enough reliable ground beneath it, forcing completely unrelated, unverified puzzle pieces together to look perfectly correct. So even when an AI response looks flawless, it can be dangerously incomplete. The system is silently making choices for you. It might be hiding outdated source material, it might pull a single statistic completely out of context, it might present a minority opinion as a proven fact, or just completely crop out opposing evidence through an invisible algorithmic filter. You only ever see what survives that filter.
And that brings us to the biggest takeaway of this entire explainer. Confidence is not proof.
Just because a machine speaks in complete, confident sentences and generates answers rapidly in a bright screen absolutely does not mean it's telling you the whole truth. Knowing when to question the answer is becoming way more important than just finding it.
Which brings us to Section 5, the climax, the empty digital library. So what is the ultimate long-term consequence here? What happens when the doorway to the internet decides to become the final destination? Well, it isn't a sudden crash. It's a silent erosion. It starts with the instant answer, which halts the clicks at the AI interface. Because the click stop, website traffic falls. As traffic graphs bend downward, digital advertising revenue dries up, and ultimately, creation just stops. The independent expert simply stops writing. The next big investigation goes completely unfunded.
We transition from the old web, a diverse, expanding library of competing human voices where traffic directly funded human creators, into the AI era. Now, we receive one compressed answer. The financial value stays locked on one massive platform, and the wider internet becomes a narrower, emptier network filled with thinner, generic content designed for one thing: to satisfy the machines.
And all of this leaves us with the ultimate paradox. A paradox that actually threatens the very foundation of the multi-billion-dollar AI system itself. If human creators can no longer afford to research and publish, who creates the next answer?
Think about it for a second. These massive AI gateways require a constant stream of new, accurate human information to function at all. But if they starve the creators by stealing their traffic, those creators will eventually stop publishing. So I want to leave you with this final thought to take away. If the sources disappear, what will the machines have left to read?